York Giants are bringing back veteran wide receiver Odell Beckham. Los Angeles Rams have acquired Myles
Eagles
Garrett.
Send A.J. Brown to the Patriots.
Minnesota and Kyler Murray have agreed to a one-year deal for the veteran minimum.
Caleb Downs is about that life every single snap.
Yes.
ESPN's top 10 quarterback list garnered quite a bit of traction. So I watched the film, I looked at the numbers, and here's my top 10 NFL quarterbacks. At number 10 for me, I have Brock Purdy. Purdy might have been banged up last year, but he still performed at a high level. Purdy ranked number 2 in the NFL in completion percentage over expected, behind Drake May. And he also ranked number 4 in the NFL when it came to EPA per dropback. And take a little bit of a deeper dive, Brock Purdy was number 1 in the league on completion percentage over expected on deep pass attempts. And now the 49ers hopefully get Ricky Pearsall healthy for a full season, as well as bring in Mike Evans. Both receivers were top 10 in the league in targets per game downfield last season. And they bring in DeJon Stribling in the first round, who was primarily a downfield target. Brock Purdy's escapability and downfield passing ability solidified him the number 10 spot on my list. At 9, I have Justin Herbert. Despite Justin Herbert being the most pressured quarterback in the entire NFL last season, Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert was still able to put up the number 8 completion percentage over expected in the entire league. When throwing from a clean pocket, Justin Herbert was 3rd in the entire NFL in completion percentage, skyrocketing to 76.9. Also, when kept clean, Justin Herbert was able to put up the 7th highest passer rating in the entire league. Now going into a year where they've brought in a few new linemen to try and bolster their passing attack. Coming in at number 8 for me is Jordan Love. Jordan Love ranked number 1 in passer rating when kept clean last year. He also ranked 2nd in the league last year on EPA per play on quick passes, as well as ranking number 1 in the league in completion percentage over expected on quick passes. It will caught my eye to separate Jordan Love from Justin Herbert at this number 8 spot, specifically on these quick passing attempts, is his ability to diagnose what the defense is doing and find the first open receiver as quick as possible, carving defenses up like Thanksgiving turkey. Take a look here. Love puts his tight end in motion, watches the linebacker go back, realizes that's not where the blitz is coming from, checks to a different protection, and somehow his running back still misses the block. But Love delivers a perfect ball over the middle of the field. Now hear me out on this one. At number 7, I have Patrick Mahomes. Coming off of back-to-back down seasons statistically and a torn ACL going into the 2026 NFL season, there are really no numbers supporting Patrick Mahomes still being a top 5 quarterback. However, you can point to the fact that last year the Kansas City Chiefs ranked dead last in yards after the catch over expected. And if you go back to 2023, the last year Patrick Mahomes had an MVP caliber year, Kansas City Chiefs ranked number 1 in the entire NFL in yards after the catch. And just last year, Patrick Mahomes was number 1 in the NFL on EPA per pass on 4th down. So there's plenty of evidence that not everything is on Mahomes. However, EPA per pass and completion percentage over expected are both numbers for mental-grade quarterbacks on even playing field, regardless of who they're throwing to. Patrick Mahomes has ranked outside the top 10 on both of those numbers in the last 2 seasons. So, at number 6 on my list, the reigning MVP, Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford had a very impressive season, ranking number 1 in almost every passing category. However, it is fair to note that Matthew Stafford had some quite insane turnover luck. According to PFF, Matthew Stafford was atop the league in turnover-worthy plays last season, and yet only threw 8 interceptions. If you know Matthew Stafford, you know he typically throws double-digit interceptions. Although still being an elite quarterback, you should expect some regression from Matthew Stafford, as this level of turnover luck typically does not withstand year to year. However, Matthew Stafford was still top 5 to top 10 in almost every major statistical category, which ranks him as number 6 on my list. Now we get into the top 5, and at number 5, I have Lamar Jackson. Don't be fooled by the numbers. He might have had a down year last season, but when Lamar's healthy, Lamar's elite. Even in a down year, Lamar Jackson had the number 1 passer rating on deep passes in the entire league. He also has 6 touchdowns to 0 interceptions on deep passing attempts. He's the only quarterback in the league to throw that many touchdowns without an interception last year on deep passing. Lamar Jackson also still ranks number 4 in the league in passer rating per game, ahead of guys like Josh Allen, Jordan Love, and Joe Burrow. Remember, this is the all-time NFL leader in passer rating. What separates Lamar Jackson from the top 4 is that he ranked just league average on EPA per pass on 3rd and long. Now, if you go to the league prior, you can see that Lamar Jackson ranked 2nd in the league on EPA per pass on 3rd and long. However, if you go to the postseason, Lamar drops all the way to league average on EPA per pass on 3rd and long, which typically is where he lays. Unfortunately for Lamar Jackson, the people ahead of him consistently rank inside the top 10 in EPA per pass on 3rd down and long. So let's get into number 4, where I have Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott was 3rd in the NFL in completion percentage over expected. He also ranked 4th in passer rating against the blitz, and once again 3rd in completion percentage under pressure. But like a Gator, Dak lives in murky water. Number 1 in the league in tight window throw percentage. Let's take a look. If you thought Tony Romo was crazy, watch Dak Prescott. His ball has no room for error whatsoever. In fact, you would think this would be a pick. But like I said, this isn't Tony Romo. Somehow Prescott makes one of the most spectacular throws I've ever seen in my life. And yet this one might be even more impressive, because this ball has to be absolutely perfect for George Pickens to have even a chance at catching this pass. And it is. This one perfectly placed as well, firing right outside the frame of Ferguson, so this linebacker can't make the play. Ferguson can make the grab. And you've probably seen this grab before, but how about the throw from Prescott? Not only was he pressured, look at this window. This has to be perfect. And as always, it is. Now, unfortunately for Dak, I couldn't put him in the top 3 because everybody ahead of him has either won an MVP or made it to a Super Bowl. So, at number 3 on my list, I've got Joe Cool. Joe Burrow last season ranked 3rd in the NFL in touchdowns per game. He also ranked 1st in the league according to Next Gen Stats under pressure. Burrow was also 4th overall on completion percentage over expected under pressure. And of course, just last season, Joe Burrow ranked 1st in the entire league in yards per game. And maybe even more impressive, just a year ago, Joe Burrow also ranked number 1 in the NFL in touchdowns per game. This might be the best example of it last season. Watch Joe Burrow evade pressure and make a spectacular throw. Right here, Joe Burrow probably should be sacked. Most people would, but shows not most people. And then here, Joe Burrow has to make a spectacular crossbody throw under pressure to find a touchdown. And that's what he does. A spectacular throw to Mike Gesicki. And this throw from Joe Burrow is one of the most accurate downfield passes you might ever see. Joe Burrow in dire need of a score and makes a phenomenal throw in a tight window to Andrei Iosivas for the touchdown. And what makes Joe Burrow special is playmaking ability. Watch here as he navigates the pocket perfectly, pump fakes, rolling out under pressure, and fires a perfect magical touchdown pass in the snow. Speaking of the cold, at number 2 I've got Josh Allen. Fresh off of an MVP season, Josh Allen ranks 2nd in the league in time to throw while under pressure. Tells you how special he is at making something out of nothing. Josh Allen also finished the season ranking 4th in NFL completion percentage. And under pressure, Josh Allen's statistics didn't fall off. Number 4 in the league in passer rating. Now let's watch Josh Allen be Josh Allen. Doing what he does best, Josh Allen evades a pocket, rolls out, and makes a ridiculous throw across body just away from the safety to complete this pass. And here, I'm assuming Baltimore was in prevent, but it didn't work. Josh Allen still cooks him up. This pass from Josh Allen probably should have been knocked down. But with that 6'5" frame, with DT in his face and hands up, Josh Allen still reaches it over, fires a ridiculous throw to Dalton Kincaid for a touchdown. And then lastly, this one from Josh Allen, just a beautiful moon ball, downfield. Great catch, better ball. And now, at number 1 on my list as the best quarterback in the NFL entering the 2026 season, I've got Drake May. Coming off of an MVP caliber season, and a season where he went to the Super Bowl, the numbers suggest he's just getting started. May ranked number 1 in completion percentage over expected. Drake May also ranked number 1 in EPA per game. Drake May also ranked number 1 in NFL passer rating. Drake May also ranked number 1 on completion percentage over expected on downfield pass attempts. And you guessed it, Drake May ranked number 1 on EPA per game on downfield passes. And this one's insane. Drake May last season had 15 touchdowns to no picks against the blitz. This is despite Drake May being number 1 in yards per attempt against the blitz. This is one of the most insane stats I've ever seen. Now watch Drake May here on the play action. Just look at this. Drake May knows he's going to take a hit, kind of fading away under decent pressure, and yet still fires this perfect ball over the right side of the field, and he goes down the sideline and takes it for a touchdown. So, what do you think? Is Drake May the best quarterback in the NFL, or am I a fool for doubting Patrick Mahomes?